Welcome back to the channel. Today we're taking a look at the 2025 Volkswagen ID.Buzz, the coolest EV on the market, quite possibly the coolest minivan that money can buy you today. I mean, this thing turns heads everywhere it goes, and even if you live under a rock, it needs no introduction, but I'm gonna give it one anyways. My friend over at PRN Test Drive, Niall, said that when he drove the ID.Buzz, he felt like Santa Claus on Christmas because of the amount of joy he was bringing. And that guy does it once a year. When you drive this ID.Buzz, or if you're lucky enough to own one, you do it every single day of the year. So let's take a look under the floor for the Volkswagen ID.Buzz. We have a 91 kilowatt hour battery. That is the gross. The actual usable range is 86 kilowatt hours, and that is going to be good for 372 kilometers of range. But good news, in warm weather like I've had pretty much all week, I've seen right into the 420s, which is not great, but it is better than Volkswagen are projecting. But I don't know how that is going to fare in the winter. I expect it to be a little bit less than that 420 that I've been seeing. Now, of course, it's all-wheel drive, so this battery and these motors are capable of outputting 355 horsepower, 413 pound-feet of torque. It can also accept a max charging speed of up to 200 kilowatts if you can find one. The only ones that are close to me are 150 kilowatts, but honestly, they've been doing the job just fine for this shorter range, long range marketed kind of vehicle. It's very interesting that the range is on the shorter end, but this is a vehicle that you would expect to be able to drive across Canada. So that is one of the interesting things here and something to really think about. But there you have your specs and numbers. So next, let's have a look at the exterior. So next, let's take a look outside for the Volkswagen ID.Buzz, one of the coolest looking vehicles this year. Let's start up with the front, where you can already see we've got that nice blue paint with the white top. It looks really, really cool, really retro. I do like it. We've got the IQ light right there. Very nice headlight design with that light bar. Of course, the Volkswagen logo does light up at night and everything. You can get a good sense of just how long that dashboard is on the interior, as well as you got cameras there, a front-facing camera right there. I do like the bottom grille there. Probably allows for some cooling as well. Looks really, really good. Quickly onto the side here, where you get a good idea of just how massive this bus really is. It's a boxy yet kind of like a pod shape. It's a very interesting shape in terms of that. The hubcaps are very interesting as well to look at, and you get really a good view of the really cool color. You have to get this thing in a cool color. I mean, why not? Your car is already going to stand out like crazy. Your van is going to stand out like crazy. Might as well pick a crazy color. This blue really does it well. I've got the first edition badge because that's the only one you can get in Canada. Close up on those rims right there, as well as the little window right here. So this is all you get. I mean, it does work, I guess. So that's completely fine. And then you have the van doors that, you know, you're going to push right here and it's going to open automatically. But let's quickly take a look at the back here, where you can see you got a nice big rear windshield as well as a rear wiper. I wish it was up there. That would have made things a lot better. Massive Volkswagen badge with the ID.Buzz and the 4Motion. You also get very nice looking taillights. It's a very flat back, right? So it's quite an interesting vehicle to look at no matter where you look at it from. But let's take a look at the rear here. It's got an automatic tailgate, of course. It's very nice to see, especially in this price point. It comes with drawers and stuff like that. So you can see here, I've got little pull-out drawers that I put some cleaning supplies in for this week, and then it's also kind of like a drawer or like a shelf as well that you can kind of pull up and remove all that if you need to do it. Of course, these rear third row seats do come down very easily, no problems there either. And then of course you can have all the space in the world. So yeah, this is a pretty effective 3-row minivan, or just, you know, I guess if you want to call it an SUV, but it's definitely not. It's just call it the bus, you know. It's very, very effective. Last but not least, actually, let's check out the charge port. So charge port is right here. It opens by clicking right there. and then you'll see you have your standard charge port. It's not NACS, so that is probably good news for some, probably not so good news for others. But look, overall, I really like the design of this thing. I mean, it catches your eye from any angle, from every angle. It catches everybody's eye that I drive by. They all love it. Everybody loves to look at this thing, loves to comment on it, and I get it. I mean, it just stands out so well, and it is the coolest looking minivan on the market that you can get. I'm a huge fan of it. But of course, let me know what you think in the comments, and you know what? Let's hop in. Let's check out the interior. So next, let's check out the rear for the ID.Buzz. You can see one press, slides open, no problem. You're greeted with this very nice tan interior. You can see the car seat tie downs right there. I've got my baby seat over there. No problem installing it, plenty of room to do that. Let's actually hop in here. And then once you're in, you can close the door by pressing that button right there. You do have a manual option, which is right here, and you can pull that. It will, I believe it kills the power to the door, and then it becomes a manual slide in case, whatever reason, the release isn't working here. You can handle it that way. Window is right here. It is on the small side, and the car's off because I'm not in the front, so it won't work, but I'll include some B-roll of that happening. It's interesting. I've got a USB-C port right here next to me. I've, of course, got the armrest that can come down right there, and then this guy will be able to move. So this is kind of like a center console storage, but it can move, could be in the front. It could be here to kind of block the lane. You can see there's a cutout in the carpet for that, and then it could also be right here, and it could be in the middle for the captain's chair passengers. But look how much legroom I have. It is just unbelievable how much room you have in this thing. Headroom galore, and it's super easy to access the third row from here. So check this out. I can hop up, get into the third row here, and it is just super comfortable. Now these are down, so it kind of hurts your back to sit here when they're like that, but just for the sake of the video, I have so much room here. Look at this. So much foot room. And this is in the full back position as well. And these seats can actually move all the way forward so that you can get in super easily. And yeah, I just really, really love the space in here. You do have a climate control right up there for your passengers as well, but I have it in smart climate, so it's actually going to detect when I'm sitting here or here and turn the vents on accordingly, which is very cool. So let's actually hop up front and check out that. So next up is the front seat for our Volkswagen ID.Buzz, created with that tan interior again. Got these controls, these annoying controls with 2 switches instead of 4. I don't like that. I have to click this and it gets confusing, and also it doesn't work well at all. I'll tell you that right now. Got 2 sets of memory seat settings as well as the power controls right here, and you can see there's like a little step here, a little indent that I could get into. And check out these pedals here. Pause and play buttons. Very, very interesting and cool. But let's actually hop in and start this thing up. So once you do that, it kind of turns on, and then if I push the brake, it goes into my memory seat settings and everything kind of comes to life. You can see I've got a little gauge cluster right there. It will follow the steering wheel. It is attached to the column, and it shows you all of your information. I have a classic Volkswagen steering wheel. In the tan leather interior, it doesn't give you like a tan steering wheel. That would have been cool. But you can option a white interior, and it will turn the steering wheel white, which is pretty awesome. Visibility in here is quite good. You do sit quite high up, and you can see that that dashboard just continues forever, and it creates like this weird driving feeling because where I'm sitting versus where the actual front is quite far away. It just keeps going. I can't reach that windshield. I really have to lean forward to, and then I reached it just there. So that's crazy. One of the things, though, I will say, though, is I don't like these touch buttons. These touch buttons, I don't like them in any Volkswagen vehicle. I don't like them on the Buzz. It's not great to use. It's not fun. I wish they were physical. At least this is physical, and the buttons here are physical. For the lighting control, that is not physical. It's all kind of like a touch button. Then you have this gauge, not this gauge cluster, but this infotainment display. It is the new one, the one I showed you on the Golf R, so I like it a lot more, but it still has a lot of work to do to get where Volkswagen needs it to be. So we'll see. We'll see where it goes. But you got built-in navigation, wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. The CarPlay does glitch out on me quite a bit and takes a long time to connect. But you can see your charging and stuff like that. You can also have some different drive modes as well. So you can see we can go into custom here, and then you can switch things around, kind of in typical Volkswagen fashion. I usually just keep most things in sport and some stuff in comfort. Just kind of a good mix, but usually I'm driving right there in comfort mode. That's the best way to do it. Heated and ventilated seats, as well as massage seats for the driver and the passenger, which is quite nice. And yeah, there's not too much quirks going on in here. It's pretty straightforward. I like the design. There's still some things to do here via software updates, so hopefully they'll figure it out soon. But I do like this look a lot better in terms of a infotainment display. Moving down, we have controls here for the doors. At the rear doors, you can open them, and then also you have the vent controls. I've got 2 USB-C ports as well as a wireless charger, and I've got cup holders that fold down right here. I've also got a little shelf, and I like this wood paneling here. Very, very nice touch. And then, of course, the glove compartment, and the passenger has a USB-C port right over there for themselves. The only thing is, if you keep something connected and you leave it and then you open the door, it's yanking that right out. It is just taking it with it. And then we have, like I said, this center console storage that has a little bit of storage in there. It's a little drawer that pulls out, so very nice. And then also, check this out. So you can kind of move the divider, but look, the divider itself is actually an ice scraper. That is really cool. It's an ice scraper. So I'm bad at putting this back in, so give me a second. And then the other divider right here is actually a bottle opener. You can see it says caps right on it. Really, really cool. So if you, you know, having a good tailgate or party or whatever, and you're missing a bottle opener, there you go. Volkswagen's got you covered. Now, last but not least, I want to show you this. So this is in its standard configuration. I can swipe it. Oh, there it goes. This is probably the coolest thing. I just love showing people this. It is so cool. Look at that. On, off, on, off. Visibility, no visibility. Visibility, very cool. I love that technology. I think it's really, really awesome. And yeah, overall, like it's a good interior space. There is a ton of space. I mean, it's just crazy how much room you have in here. You could definitely camp out in here. You can definitely stay a while in here and pretty much be very, very comfortable. Battery's been okay. You can see we're at 82%, 328 kilometers. So it's not great for a big vehicle in its range category, but yeah, it's more of one of those things that you buy because you love it, not because of the range. It's one of those vehicles. It's going to take a very specific buyer, but interior wise, I'm happy with it. It's got a ton of space. It's weird, it's wacky, and that's everything it's supposed to be and everything I expected it to be. So let me pop that GoPro on my forehead. Let's take it for a drive. All right, so out on the road, 2025 Volkswagen ID.Buzz. So in terms of just driving, it's very easy to do that. It's so easy, like, to just get in and go, and like I just don't worry about space. I don't worry about comfort. You know, there's nothing that I really worry about unless I went to take it for a road trip. I'm sitting at 77% charge, 314 kilometers, which is, you know, not that much. And then, you know, especially if it got colder, it would probably get reduced. So it's like, it's good for, you know, just being easy and stuff like that. If you don't really have anywhere to go, I think that's probably going to be one of the biggest things with this vehicle is, like, if you have like a little commute and you like the lifestyle, you're just a mall crawler, you go around to Costco and stuff like that, well, you know, you're going to have space and no problem. But if you want to actually do what I feel like the bus or the Volkswagen bus was designed to do and like drive across Canada, it's going to take a long time. And it's probably not going to be that enjoyable because I don't think the charger infrastructure is there yet. But yes, you can do it, and you'll have a lot of space, and you could probably sleep, you know, inside of this thing while you charge, you know, 50 times to get across. But yeah, it's definitely not ideal for what it used to be ideal for, which is interesting. There goes a Golf R. Look at there. Look at that guy. But let's see. Let's put this thing into sport mode, something I really don't do at all. Because why would you want to do that? It's more for just driving normally. But let's rip it here. Volkswagen ID.Buzz, let's go. When I do that, it kind of feels like not normal. Because, I mean, it's quick. And I feel like the bus shouldn't be able to do that. I feel like it's just designed to be slow. But it's definitely not. This thing will smoke anything off the line for sure. It does weigh quite a bit. I think it's got like a 6,200 pound curb weight, something like that, which is crazy heavy, but it still can fly around. I've got a great amount of visibility here. The windshield is so far away. I think I've said this a few times that it makes like my distance a little weird. Like I think I'm getting too close to things. Look at all those birds. Whoa. I'm getting way too close to things, or not far enough away from things, and it's like I'm all messed up. So it took a while to adjust to it. I think now I'm okay, and I'm pretty much parking this thing with ease because the cameras are no help. I showed you, I mean, the Nokia phones, or like I had a flip phone that was better than these cameras all those years ago. So it's like, as like a minivan, or just, can't even call it it's the coolest minivan ever, first of all, and I'm not somebody who's like very fond of minivans. I think they're great people movers, and if you have the big family, then it's gonna make your life really easy. But this thing, it's a van, but it doesn't feel like a van. Like it doesn't really even drive like a van. Like it's kind of decent. The turning radius is no good because we don't have rear wheel steering, but like just driving like this right now, like it's super comfortable, it's super smooth, kind of just feels like a 3-row SUV. But it is not. It is absolutely a van, but it's the coolest one that you could ever get. And the only problem is you can't afford it, and neither can I. Purple Urus. Whoa, boy. They're all out today. My goodness. So yeah, I like the steering feel. I don't care about body roll. I don't actually care about speed. I mean, it's definitely there, though. I like the visibility. I like how, the windshield is quite big, and everything is big in here. And yeah, I could do a road trip in here, no problem, but I wouldn't want to go very far. Probably like Montreal to Ottawa is about the distance that I'd be comfortable going without having to like really worry about it. But yeah, it's just, if the charging infrastructure was there, that would be better. And I think Volkswagen needs to make one that has a lot more range. But I think the problem that you get now is that the more range they try to add in terms of like increasing the battery size, the more heavy it gets. So they're kind of like trying to balance the two, and it seems to be very difficult because they're not the only brand that weighs a lot. The Charger EV that you guys saw on the channel last week, that thing is really heavy too. And again, doesn't have a lot of range. It's the same problem over and over again. So it's like, the novelty ones, the ones like this, it's going to take a very specific buyer. Somebody who wants a lot of space, who maybe doesn't like the look of the normal minivans, and really wants to stand out, because don't get me wrong, you will stand out in this ID.Buzz. It's going to be one of those things where you got to kind of check all the boxes. But I'm just so like impressed with the comfort. Like I just feel like I got my armrest here. There's an additional one actually that I could bring down. I don't know if you can see that, but I can bring it down, and then I've kind of got like a really, really good driving position here, and I feel like I can see everything. I feel like I tower over everyone, and it's just made just general life with this thing super easy. And I think that the high price point is going to be a problem until they don't sell anymore. And I mean, they're already kind of not selling, so it's already becoming sort of like a non-problem. And then they're just going to have to discount them to get rid of them. And then that's when, if you're somebody that's super interested in a vehicle like this, that's when you jump on it. Because at that point, it's going to be so cheap, you're going to be getting like a very good value product for a lot less money. It is going to then further depreciate like an absolute brick, but at least you didn't pay the full price like some people probably did. You have to assume that there's some people that bought this right when it came out because they were obsessed with it, and they are currently probably upside down like crazy. But still, maybe you don't buy it for that. Maybe you buy it because you just really like the look of the van, and this thing brings joy to people. I mean, it just brings so much joy to people from older generation, and surprisingly to me anyways, the younger generation as well. I've had a ton of thumbs up. Like I live by a college, and so school's back in session kind of thing, and I drove on the street, and a bunch of the college kids are smiling at it, or giving me thumbs up. It's like it's getting more attention than the Charger EV. And for me, the Charger EV was like a more younger generation kind of vehicle. Like the younger generation would appreciate that a lot more. The Buzz is just bringing joy to everyone, just straight up. Nobody really hates it or dislikes it, but the problem is also nobody is saying, "Oh my God, I want to buy that. Where can I get one?" They're saying, "Oh, that's really cool. Thanks for showing me," kind of thing. They're like, "Well, I got that out of my system." It's not like a I must have kind of thing. So yeah, it's just going to take a very specific person to buy this thing. But the person that does, and it works for you, like you got so much space, you've got a decent infotainment, and you're going to just have attention for years to come. And if that's something you like when you're driving around in your daily driver, then hey, by all means, the Buzz is definitely for you. Because I really did I do enjoy my time with this Buzz. Like, it's been really easy to do everything, fit my daughter in here. I've loved the public interactions that I've gotten. I just love how easy it is. I simply just get in and drive. I don't have a very long commute, so, this battery range works for me, no problem. Because I don't really have to go far to film. I don't have to go far to go to the office, to grocery. Everything's right here, right around me. So that works for me. So like a vehicle like this, if I needed this space, would be pretty optimal, especially since I want to get back into like hockey. I'm gonna have all the goalie equipment and stuff. So like a bus like this would make my life so easy, and I just look cool doing it because the Buzz is cool. Let's just face it, it is cool, and you have to give it to Volkswagen for putting this out on the market. This is what the EV industry needs. It needs more interesting, quirky little things that are around on the road that catch people's eye and are so weird that you can't look away. We need that. EVs need to have personality, maybe in the sound or what they are, what they look like, and the Buzz has plenty of it just by the way it looks and the way it feels and performs. And for that, you know what? I'm a big fan of it. I really do enjoy it for that side of things. But the usability side of things, in terms of range, hopefully you never have to go too far in your Buzz Volkswagen. With that being said, let me know what you think, though. I really want to know what you guys think and feel about this thing. It's well over 70 grand. I think it's in the 90s for this one. I want to know, what are your thoughts? How do you feel about this new bus? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Do you want one? First of all, let's start there. Do you even want one of these things? These things even catch your eye at all, or you just laugh at them as they go by, and well, that's about it. I really want to know your thoughts. So let me know absolutely everything you think about this thing. Make sure you like, subscribe if you want to see more quirky and weird EVs just like this one. I kind of enjoy doing them. I kind of enjoy the public reactions. And yeah, with that being said, I'll see you in the next week. See you in the next car. Take care.